What is going on, you guys? It is Livid. Hope you're all doing very well today. Currently, we are on Global Event Strike, and as some of you may already be aware, there is one commendation that is a lot more grindy than pretty much any of the other ones. Granted, there are quite a few of them that do take you quite a bit of time, but when it comes to the masks, it seems like these two are just extremely easy. You can get them done in one run. Some of the, the arm patches are definitely pretty grindy. But when it comes to jungle, this does require a total of 150 boss kills. And this is definitely pretty lengthy, especially if you are more of a solo player. If you don't depend on others to like farm Dark Zone, or if you are just not wanting to bother so much with HVTs, maybe you only have one character, so you can't always do all of the boss runs. So today I'm going to give you guys a method that you can do solo that is honestly by far the most effective method in the game for doing this. Of course, I still recommend doing your open world boss runs every day when you log in because that's a total of 6 bosses. And you might be wondering why 6, because there's only 3 bosses. For some reason, the game is counting mission bosses as well as open world bosses as 2. Not sure if this was just started after the global events were resolved, or if it's just because it's always been this way, not entirely sure. But the Riker bosses inside the open world and inside missions are counting as double, and that's another reason why this method that I'm about to show you is so effective. So we are here at Lexington Event Center. You'll notice that I've changed my world tier down to world tier 2. You could probably go even lower than this, but I don't really think it matters all that much. I will say that something that does probably matter is the build. I'm currently running just a really high DPS striker. You could also run Tactician for this. Really just anything where you have really as low HP as possible. You're still going to have quite a bit of toughness because you're lowering the world tier, so the gear that you have on is going to heavily affect the amount of HP that you have. If you still find that you're struggling, you could probably just take off your gear and just put lower gear on, whether that be from drops or whatever. You want to go buy purple gear or something from the vendor, you could definitely do that because classified does add up to your overall toughness. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. We should be fine. And I'm just going to take you guys through the mission, and I will explain as I get there kind of why I've chosen this build and how the method exactly works. I'll also have a stopwatch going off to the side so I can just kind of track how long this method is actually taking me. I think if you were to actually sit and do this in one run, it is going to take you maybe an hour or two, just kind of depending on how frequently you can clear the boss at the end. But yeah, let's go ahead and we'll get started. So I'm going to start my timer now, and then hopefully this won't take us too long. And as you can see, we're going to be on World Tier 2, so enemies are going to be very easy to defeat. And like I was saying too, if you want to be lazy and just run Tactician, you can definitely do that. That's the method I've used in the past for doing this, but I figure Striker is pretty good for now. I'm not feeling super lazy, so I'll go ahead and use my weapon. So as far as the difficulty, you can do this on any difficulty you want. So you could even push this down to normal or hard or whatever you want. I do think this is on challenging, specifically because of the elites. I'd like to have the elites on because my build is... I'm so confused in the game. I'd like to have elites on because I have damage to elites on the build. So the more elites that spawn, the better, or like the faster I can take them out. And then I just have the regular strike modifier on. If you want to chain the reactions a bit, you could put on tactical strike, but I don't think that's necessary for me. Flashbang there. Alright, so we gotta go to the hostage, untie him. It's amazing that guy didn't die in all that crossfire, to be honest. But yeah, for the build, you'll obviously want to be able to use whatever you're comfortable with. If you want to have a secondary gun, which I do have one with Predatory, that should help you if you don't want to waste any medkits or anything. Really, as long as you're lowering the world tier, you shouldn't have any problems with this, but if you find yourself having some issues, you should probably switch up the build. So at this point in the run, we're about 2.5 minutes in, not even 2.5 minutes. So remainder of the mission might take around the same amount of time, if not a little bit longer. Some of this stuff is time gated. Specifically, this rooftop is time gated. After you clear the enemies, you'll need to wait for the hostage to say his dialogue, as well as Ramos to say the very famous line. If you guys aren't really playing the Division 1 right now, you might have clicked this just because it's a Lexington mission, or a Lexington farm. If you are here, welcome. Yeah, there's still quite a few of us playing the game, so if you're ever interested, the global events have been resolved, so they're back on the rotation. And it would be great to have you guys back. So we just now hit the 3-minute and 25-second mark. So the whole run should take... The whole run is going to take under 10 minutes, but the main reason why we're doing this is to get to the boss run. Or to get to the boss room, rather. So... I'll just hit the stopwatch whenever we get to the boss room, so it shows how long it gets to that point. And then I'll hit it again. For each time we farm Livid, so you guys can see how long that usually takes. Yeah, see, it's gonna take them a couple seconds to say whatever they're saying. We're very close to the end of the mission now. We just have to clear this room, and then the next room is the boss room. So, yeah, I would say 5 minutes, give or take, to get to the final boss room. I'm going to go ahead and hit Predatory now, just in case I need that. They're going to spawn over here on the right side next. And then once these guys are dead, it's going to be the door behind me that opens up. I believe you can actually leave these guys if you didn't want to waste your time shooting them, but I mean, might as well get rid of them. They don't really add any benefit to not kill. So yeah, about 5.5 minutes, 5 minutes, 27 seconds is what it took to get here, give or take. So we'll probably do some things differently and get here faster than me. I like to stay underground here on this part. Oh, actually, I think you do have to kill these guys in order for her to spawn again. Yeah, I think you need to kill... Yeah, you have to clear those guys. So she's going to spawn from this door always. She'll always come out of this door. You'll want to just kill her, and then what the next thing you'll want to do is you're going to want these guys to kill you. Very important for this part that you do not kill yourself. So if you are a tactician player, and if you use a sticky bomb to kill yourself, it is just going to complete the mission, unfortunately. Oh shit, I should have taken recovery link off. So have recovery link off, don't be like me. Yeah, you'll want these guys to eliminate you. You don't want to eliminate yourself. So yeah, this is definitely going to take more time, but after the second run, it's going to be easier. There we go. So once you respawn, you're going to respawn at the checkpoint. So that whole run took us about 7 minutes to get there, kill the boss, and reset. But that's mainly because I'm dumb and I had a recovery link on. Then we start at the doors that we came up from. And then as you can see, we come in and she immediately spawns in. So she doesn't have the dialogue where she runs upstairs. So it is random on where she goes. Sometimes she comes up here. Sometimes she stays on the ground floor. So there's really no effective, surefire way to know exactly where she spawns in. Ideally, you'd want to get here while she's still on the ground floor. If I hadn't pulled out the flashbang, I probably would have. So yeah, you'll just want these guys to eliminate you. That's why having a build with low toughness is pretty important. If these guys are going to kill you, go ahead and switch off your recovery link, obviously, if that was you. But that whole run took about 50 seconds. So that's also because I made some errors. So knowing what we know now, I'm going to go ahead and just push. And it is, like I said, RNG on where she goes. So she's either going to go to the left or to the right. Looks like she's coming back up here to the right. Oh, no, she's actually going to stay down here. That's perfect. So we're going to kill her. And then I'm just going to run straight for the heavy. Hopefully he will take care of business here. Okay, he's going to be a weirdo. Understood. How about you? All right, so that's another lap. So now that's about 40 seconds from start to finish after knowing what we knew before. You could probably use something like a showstopper as well. The showstopper will stagger them in place, so killing the Ray might be a little bit faster that way, but it's not super necessary. I'll go ahead and hit my booster. Again, RNG on where she's going to go. And I'll go ahead and show my counter. So I'm going to go to my strike commendations. So right now I'm at 44 bosses. So let's keep that in mind. 44 bosses. And I'll show you guys what it looks like next time after these guys take care of business. A couple more NPCs up here. Ooh, that guy gave me the business. So that one took about 50. So it's probably going to take anywhere from like 30 to 50 seconds for each run. Granted, that's still a lot of boss kills, but they are counting as double, so it's by far the most effective way that we've found for getting your boss kills for this GE, but it is very, very mind-numbing for sure. So she's going to come up here to the left. And take care of her. So what were we at? 44? I like how she still talks all that nonsense after she's dead. Yeah, so 46 now. So you can see that they are counting as double. This is honestly the hardest part. You could probably make it a little bit faster and throw a nade at yourself first. Just make sure that you're not killing yourself with the grenade. If you do down yourself with the grenade, I do believe that it is just going to reset the mission. So that's why I would just recommend not bothering with that. Could maybe do something like this, where you take a little bit of HP off, and you can kill the boss. And then hopefully these guys will take care of the rest. And then it takes them a little bit less time to do that, I would hope. I'm going to hit a booster. Go ahead and hit this one. Nope. I missed. Grab that one. So yeah, got the next part of Strike Boss. This is honestly the most painful part, is just getting the NPCs to kill you after. Because yeah, so now, for example, I'll show you what happens if you kill her and then kill yourself. I don't have my tactician build on at the moment, but I'll just use grenades. Seems like she's really liking this left side lately, so All right, so I kill her. See what happens when we use grenades here. Could also help to lose your stacks. So now we've killed ourselves, so now we'll showcase what happens there. Oh, okay, that one worked. I think it might be because I was getting shot at. Okay, well, we'll just complete it then. Yeah, that one might have worked because I was getting shot at by them. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have my tactician build to showcase what that looks like. So if you wanted to try and kill yourself, I suppose you could try and do that. But I don't think it's really worth the... I don't think it's really worth the pain of having to restart the entire mission. Yeah, hopefully you guys would just take my word for it that it doesn't usually work. Yeah, that's everything. That's how you do the Luray Barrett farm. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys are enjoying the global event. And if you have any other questions or if you've come up with any other methods for farming your boss killers, make sure you leave them in the comments for someone else to find. And I hope you guys enjoy. I will talk to you guys later.